Hey guys, what be up? Um, Tonight I do not have my co-host. He unfortunately is down with the flu or cold. I'm not sure, but he's not able to join us tonight, so it's just me. And if other people want to come on, that's fine. I really don't have a plan for this one. As I just got back, so to speak. But how are you guys doing? How was your guys' Thanksgiving? You guys do anything fun? Residing in the hallway. Oh, okay. We already have one person. That's fine. Give me 1 sec. I gotta go over to my thingamadoo there. Oh, no. Well, I don't have you in the hallway, Commander. Said you were in the hallway. But anyway, how are you guys doing tonight? Would be up a wing. Wait, crap, gotta eat. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Falcon. How come yours was shit? I really didn't do much on mine. Okay, Commander. Like I said, I really didn't do much with mine as I was writing out with hubby for the entire week, which is, like I said in my last video, it's interesting. You pretty much tune out 90% of what's going on, and all you really focus on is the open roads and what you have to deliver or pick up. Let's see. Little sister. What'd your little sister do? Turn this up just a hair. Get some music going. Woohoo. But yeah, so like I said, Ichabod's out tonight. If you guys want to send him some love, all of his information is going to be in my description. So say hi, tell him to feel better and whatnot. There were a couple things that did catch my attention when I started poking around again. After I got back, like I said, this stream is just—it's not really organized, so we're not talking about anything particular. But something that did catch my attention, three things. Number one was the so dearly nicknamed hashtag thought audit, which, in my opinion, call me an ass, I think is the most funniest thing I think I've seen in a while. Oh, you gotta fly? Oh, that sucks. I hate flying. It's not because I'm scared of planes, but everybody in the airport is an asshole, pretty much, and tries to trip you with their roll-on bag, and yeah, no, I don't like it either. But anyway, is the thought audit, and from what I gather is how it, started was some guy... I don't know what in the world caused him to look. His name is David Wu, but pretty much he caught a cam girl, entertainer, whatever the hell you want to call them, bragging about how they didn't pay taxes to the IRS. And so that spurred this entire thing of people reporting Instagram, cam girls, thoughts, whores, whatever, to the IRS, saying that they're not paying their taxes. And Roosh V, I'm not really a fan of Roosh V. I find him to be quite obnoxious, and I've seen some of the debate streams he's in, but he did post a very interesting thread, gathering evidence in defense of David Wu, and even snatched a video clip. I don't know if it's from Instagram, Twitch, I don't know where it's from, but he had in this thread a video snippet of one of these cam girls instructing her audience to pay through the family and friends PayPal. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with PayPal, which I'm sure everyone is at this point, you have a couple of options to pay. You have transfer money, which you can send to family, friends, whatever, or you have the PayPal Me, which is pretty much a service charge, or if you have the old-fashioned link to where you enter the amount or whatever and what you're paying for. So there's three different ways. Now, when you do family and friends, They've updated it recently because back then, if you did family and friends, you weren't able to get your money back. Now, family and friends, they don't take out taxes. However, with family and friends, PayPal will take out a processing fee, 10% at max. So, say if you're sending 400 or whatnot, the very max they're going to take from you is $40 and you don't get that full 400. Now, if you use the PayPal Me link or the old-fashioned business link to pay for something, there's going to be a tax, and I believe there's also going to be that processing fee. But regardless, taxes do get taken out, and I have used the PayPal Me for my commissions and whatnot, even for some donations. So you have this video snippet in the thread Rushvi did of this girl telling her viewers or patrons, customers, what have you, to send her money through there, which is tax evasion and fraud. So you're making money and it's not getting taxed. Now, there was some information going around how if you're technically self-employed, you have to report after a certain amount being made. I'm not even going to touch that with a 9-foot pole. I know nothing about it, but I think it's hilarious. And one of the big YouTubers who I guess is a cam girl, I didn't know she was Brittany Venti. She's now on lockdown because I guess people are going through her shit. People like Rushvi were poking at her. Even Philip DeFranco, for those of you who follow DeFranco covered the thought audit hashtag, which I actually found to be quite surprising because usually he doesn't touch that stuff. So it's just like, this is kind of funny. Alright, let me catch up with the comments. Create plans and not tell me until we do it. Everything. Alright, yeah, everything's actually just fine on my end. I'm just chilling out, kind of tired. Yes, very much thought audit. What you said about driving a big rig, it's the same as a cockpit. Well, you have to have an entirely different license, for driving a, cockpit. Alright, okay, are you trying to infer, flying some sort of aircraft, or, yeah, cockpit has to do with the cab area of an airplane. See, I want to say no, it's not the same, because the controls are different, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure you have to worry about in air versus what you have to worry about in a semi. Hey, Dammy. Cockpit, yeah. Check the hallway. Yeah, I know DeFranco, a lot of people wanted to see DeFranco burn after the, BetterHelp situation, which I actually don't want to risk. I mean, it's been talked about to death. Falcon, you're on air. It's been talked about to death, but now there's a new thing going around how people who are talking about BetterHelp are getting struck and their videos removed, like copyright community guidelines strike. So I think it's YouTube trying to cover their ass. That's another thing I picked up on this week, and it's not surprising YouTube kind of endorsed that garbage, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, no, you can't bear this because you have people who do need counseling, mental help, who actually went to these people, and as far as we know, probably got hurt even more, probably even mentally messed up even more. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory way or as a knock-on. When you are in an unstable condition and you go to someone who think it can help you and they end up damaging you more, yeah, that can cause a lot of problems. So who removed my post on Suit? What? Ken, what are you talking about? Oh, happy birthday, Dammy. I didn't know it was your birthday today.
Oh, what?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I was just about to say right then, what you said about mental health, it is extremely easy to mess up and to make a bad problem into something worse. Even with some very simple medications out there, Zoloft and Depakote, back in back in end of middle school, beginning of high school, I was on both of those for a while, and I basically went off the rails for a little while. Right as they took me off of them, and everything panned out a lot it leveled off a little bit, but it was like the extremes were taken away.
Yeah, something that I've read, and I'm not, once again, I've never come to be a medical professional. I do read up on some stuff with antidepressants in general, and you have to read up on each one in particular because they each function differently. There's a couple of them that actually replace the chemicals in your brain. That's what they tell you a lot of the time is it takes a year for your brain to get used to the medication, and then it takes a full year to wean you off of them. So, and I'm trying to remember which one me and my husband talked about because we were having this discussion a while back, is when the brain is taught, hey, I don't have to make this chemical anymore, or it's being taught to shut down a certain production of a chemical in favor of the synthetic one that's coming in, that can have a lot of repercussions, weight gain. So, like I said, it's not something I'm an expert on. I've just done some reading. I'm not against people taking antidepressants or medicine because there are people who legit have chemical imbalances. So that is legit a thing. But there's a lot of people who get put on that stuff who only get worse. And like I have certain relatives who I feel they're numb. Whoa, Angel, come on, dude.
Well,
Um, Go ahead.
with not only with antidepressants and many other mental health related drugs, but also with crud, what is it? Um, Antibiotics. We're overprescribing. Holy crap, we're overprescribing a lot of things. To the extent that just in the realm of antibiotics, we're starting to have antibiotic-resistant bacteria that we can't fight with any antibiotics. Even the strongest stuff, it doesn't work. And it's rapidly becoming a problem.
Yeah,
Um,
I have heard about
but
that.
yeah, not it's not.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we're starting to do research that was the on- during the during the Cold War. Only the Soviet Union was doing research into this. Have you heard of phages?
No, I haven't.
Okay, a phage is a type of virus that, of course, but instead of just being like the rhinovirus, it goes into a cell, reproduces using the cell itself, and then destroys the cell in its reproduction. A phage will go into like influenza, or a specific strain of influenza, reproduce itself like mad, and then kill the influenza in the process. Basically, it's the worst nightmare of any disease out there. Or specific diseases, because you have to breed them for specific diseases.
Oh.
And you can make them into cocktails, but sometimes that can not be the best thing. But that is pretty rare. However, eventually like they're predicting in like 100 years, we'll be back where we started, where we'll have diseases that are phage resistant.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm all for the advancement medication and things like that. I'm not against medication, obviously. I take them when I need to. But there is a point to where we're over medicating possibly the wrong people, and then the people who do need help, they don't get it. Let's see. There's two things. Your parents should be arrested for giving you drugs at that age. What fucking moron gives a kid hardcore, psychotropic drugs at that age? It's actually starting to be more common practice there, Ken. Where more kids, especially boys, are being diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, and drugged up. I actually have a cousin, yeah, very little cousin, and I don't know if this is the case anymore, but he he would they would drug him up. And I'm not going to say which relatives did it because a couple of relatives got into an argument about it. Because when he was with one set of relatives, he acted like a normal kid. When he was with the other ones, he was kind of, yeah. Let's see. And he goes, I'm a chronic pain
Um,
patient, and
I
I.
was actually.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, um, what you said, ADHD and ADD, along with a handful of other things, I was actually misdiagnosed for a long time. Um, but yeah, they had me on a whole bunch of different medications, and it felt like 1 week you're fine. They new medication comes in. Holy crap! Everything gets derailed. Nothing starts working.
Yeah.
But please go ahead.
That's because it's your brain. Just from what I've read, the little bit I've read, that's because your brain is being introduced to a new chemical and being told it needs to shut down production of the chemical that the new one is trying to replace. It's some scary stuff. That crap is not stuff to mess around with, man. So many people are so free reign with it. It's like, let's see. Ken also says, I'm a chronic pain patient and I can't get a single pain pill. He says they ain't overprescribing at all. I know a lot of kids, it happens with a lot of kids especially, who get, misdiagnosed, overprescribed, just to keep them calm. Especially, like I said, with little boys. This was a thing about 1 to 2 years ago, and I'm sure it's still a thing to where no one wants to deal with a rowdy little boy anymore. They want them quiet. Little boys aren't quiet. They're rowdy, they roughhouse, they're rambunctious, they're very energetic, so it just, no one really wants to deal with them, which is actually kind of sad, but that ties into other things. Ken says ADD and ADHD. Go ahead.
I was actually gonna say, I was gonna point that comment out.
Oh. Let's see. Let's see. ADD and ADHD do not exist. Dr. Leon Eisenberg, father of ADD and ADHD, said on his deathbed, it's a fictitious disorder. In other words, he made it all up. I'm not a kid, I'm 40. I haven't read into that, so much. Oh, hey there.
Oh, you'll like this. I finally got to do today one thing I've been wanting to do for a long time. Okay, just for context, I went to a very, very small school. My graduating class was the biggest in like 20 years. 7 people.
Oh,
That was our largest graduating class in like 20 years.
I was like, where's that audio coming
got,
from?
Yeah, go continue on there, Falcon. I just put Stalin in.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought somebody was trying to say something, but I got to take a whole handful of a lot of the middle school and high school boys out to the airport, and I'm in the middle of rebuilding a Continental C-85 engine. I love this little airplane. It's my baby.
Oh wow, that's really cool, dude.
But we started working on the engine. Well, thank you. It's actually the same airplane that my Avatar is. But we're in the middle of putting the engine back together. We just got the crankshaft back, and they were all over it. They were asking questions left, right, and center. At one point, I stopped, and I actually designated one of them to start writing questions down. And we spent about 3 hours just going through the 4313 supplemental manual, looking up every little thing. And oh god, that was so exhausting.
I actually have a funny story. It doesn't have to do with putting an engine back on a plane together, but a car. My dad used to have this Chevrolet car, and he loved the heck out of it. And he told me this story, and I think about it. Still makes me laugh. How him and a family friend of ours. This was I think even before I was born. Put together this engine, hand built this engine from scratch on this Chevrolet, and he said that they get so pissed that they'd launch like these tools into other people's yards, and it's like this is like expensive tools. Tools are expensive, so it's just like what the fuck, just something like that must have been weird.
There's a saying in my.
I don't know anything about engines.
There's a rule in my family. don't stand around Dad when he's working on the car because one of my nephew, when he was 3, walked out, heard a bunch of stuff my dad was saying because he got real pissed off, walked back in and started repeating exactly what he said, and holy crap, he would make a sailor blush.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh man. How you doing there,
I wish we
Stalin?
still had the video.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
don't know. I came back. I was in the chat for I was in the hallway sitting there for about a minute, and then I put in the chat. Oh yeah, I'm waiting in the hallway, and then very quickly I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go eat, and then you're trying to look for me, and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But anyways, now I'm here though. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about besides engines. I don't know anything about engines.
We're just
I thought you guys. I saw these 2 links in the chat.
2 links.
These articles that you put in the chat. I thought you were going to talk about those 2.
Articles. Wait, what articles? No, that's memory.
Articles read from.
Huh? Oh no, did I not? Oh shit, did I not take? Ah, that was
I thought that's what the stream was about or something.
No, you're fine. That stream was from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Seattle
Crap.
Times.
I thought I cleaned everything out. I'm sorry. Stop. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm like, where are all these links coming from?
No, I'm sorry. I thought I cleaned everything out. No, like I said, it's pretty much anything goes. My poor co-host
I was
is
well
down.
enough prepared to talk about this.
What?
Okay.
No, that's fine.
I mean, I had a few things on my mind, either talking about those articles or talking about a recent shenanigan that happened, which kind of like the definition of insanity.
Oh.
That, it's another barrel story, but this one's even more insane.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with any of the people that Sheldon or Jace has dealt with.
Yeah.
At all. So I might as well tell it because it's very entertaining. So you probably know how we know how we function. We go around, we screw with people. Why not? No rules.
Yeah.
So somebody links this live stream. Somebody links this live stream in the chat. Okay. I don't remember who it was. So we go in there and it's a birthday stream. Like somebody's having a live stream on their birthday with a few friends, I guess. I don't know. So we go in the chat and we start memeing. We start saying random crap. I think one person says thought. A few people start calling her a thought or something. I don't know. And she starts talking about flirting in relationships, and one person calls her a cheater. We're just memeing, obviously not being serious. And then for some odd reason, it spirals into a tirade of these people are bully hunters or something. And then she goes on Twitter and she makes art of her character crying, and she changes her name to Badly Hurt. Because a couple of people went to her live stream, I guess, and she's like, my birthday is ruined. My birthday is ruined. I'm like, from what?
This wouldn't happen to be romance fiction, is it? I was poking on in Burrow today. I was poking on a lot of places, just trying to see if there's anything interesting going on.
Yeah, it was her. It was, yeah. So this has been happening for I think, for 2 days about. I don't even understand this. This was. I don't understand the mindset of certain people, man. And then what happened after that? After the live stream, and she went on Twitter and she said, "My birthday is ruined, guys. I'm badly hurt." From a couple of guys going into my live stream and saying mean things that obviously weren't serious.
You are on the internet.
Yeah, you're on the internet.
Sorry.
Basically. So what happens after that is there's this guy named Nathan, who is apparently one of these. I guess one of her friends. I don't know. He goes into the barrel and he claims that he's a one-man army. He's a one-man army, literally on recording. And he's like, I can handle everything myself. And we're asked, what are you talking about? What do you think this is? Do you think we're actually threatening people that are capable of doing something, or did you not notice that we were just typing in random messages in the live stream chat? I'm here to defend her. Yeah, it's just a bunch of dumb stuff and people overreacting over nothing. And I think you said you saw that, right?
I saw the snapshot of her video and she did a speed paint. I don't know her, but like I said, I pretty much followed the
Yeah.
trail. She did a speed paint of her thing crying, and when just like looking from the outside, I thought it had to do with like a legit situation. Just like, oh, that's that's
No.
not good.
No.
Um,
She drew the art. It was the I think I have it saved. Where is it at? Um let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, here it is. I'll post it in the I don't know where to put this.
oh, just dump
Um,
it in main hall. I don't care.
I'll dump it in the email. Okay. So she drew this. This is the drawing that she made. She's actually taking this seriously. Like she's actually taking this seriously.
Well,
I don't understand.
Here's
I don't understand.
here's the thing. Try not to giggle too hard. Some people aren't. Okay, I understand like shit talking and whatnot, poking and jabbing, that sort of thing. So she could be in a
Uh-huh.
really bad spot right now, personal wise, and have all that shit flung on her could really be doing
Uh-huh.
some damage. I'm not saying that you guys are out to hurt people. I know Vita is very much a troll. I know a lot
Oh
of you are
no, no.
trolls. Um,
Oh
so
yes, yes.
but it just you don't know where people are at in their personal lives, so for her to have that sort
Yeah.
of reaction, uh, it's one thing like the shit talking joke, but like
Yeah.
for me there are boundaries. So you see that reaction, it's like, well, maybe you should talk to her, like, hey, we're just kidding. Some people can't take that intensity of a joke or
Oh no,
joking.
we did. We did.
Oh, what, you guys backed
Like
off?
they just blocked us, I guess. Well, no, we didn't back off. Like a bunch of us proceeded to tell, to ask them in DMs and stuff. Why are you taking this so seriously? We're just a bunch of people with keyboards on the internet, right? And they just blocked us. They didn't care. They interpreted that as us going after them and harassing them or something. I don't know. I have endless amounts of screenshots of that, but no, like so when you look at that drawing, okay, and she like writes a bunch of words on there, like we to the extent of what we went in and said in the chat, it was like, yeah, I think me and Sheldon like said we typed thought in the chat, and then somebody else was saying, well, that's cheating, in relation to what she was talking about with flirting with people or something. And that's really all we did. Like everything else that she drew on there that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm tempted to show it,
I
but
don't.
I know
Yeah.
how the brony community is, and I don't want to get my channel struck.
Oh, sure. Don't show it if you don't want to. Go right. I'm just explaining to you the
Yeah.
situation. You don't need to show it. But yeah, no. After that happened, a bunch of us, like we went, and tagged them on Twitter, said, "Why are you taking this so seriously? What's wrong?" And then they have the same reaction. I don't understand. Like you explained to me, like, well, yeah, some people will have that. Or, maybe they're in a bad place. But this was that kind of situation to where you pretty much it's just the internet, and even if we go, and say, hey, why, what's wrong? What's the big deal? And then you still have that same reaction. There's probably something wrong with you. Like if we did the same thing to you, which we were intending by the way the first time, we showed up in your server. We were intending to just screw up the live stream. I guess I don't know what to say. I mean, your initial reaction would probably be, okay, well, they're trying to screw with me, right? That'd probably be your initial reaction.
Yeah. Well, like we had, okay, so
Yeah, and it's just people on the internet being internet,
yeah, I mean, I've had my server raided before, and I've had it raided twice, and the people who did it, I banned. I didn't really search it, but I cleaned it out, and it's just like, yeah, no, that shit not in here. I do remember the last stream I had, which is about 2 weeks ago. I had a bunch of people from like freaking Barrel, and me and Ichabod were laughing because he goes, "You're about ready to get trolls super hard." And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." So,
Yeah, was it the one where Sheldon and Jace came on? Or?
yeah, I had a bunch of people like piled, and they thought they were supposed to be sitting in the was it the open room or open hall? I'm like, no, guys, go to the hallway if you want in, and all these people piled. And I'm going, oh my god.
It's like, here comes the barrel. Here comes the barrel.
So, but yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah, but then when we went on and they
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like for me, I'll I have my own boundaries, and there's like I can stand trolling, but people know not to go so far because like I'll just kick them. I'm like, yeah, no, bye. So.
Oh yeah, like we weren't going as far. Well, personally, I don't care if people go like. I don't really care about like people going as far as to the extent of like jokingly say go ahead and die news. I don't really care, to be honest, but to the extent of what we were doing on that stream, in the context of the stream, what we were saying in the live stream chat, unfortunately can't dig that up because of course she deleted the stream. But a lot of that stuff that she said, like, oh no, they were saying all these terrible things. No, we only said like thought that's cheating. That's literally all we did. And then Sheldon asked, what do you think about the white ethno state? You know, the usual stuff. The usual stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
and that's literally all it took to drive an individual to go to an insane length with their white knights, dude. The 3 of them came into the server like, oh yeah, go right ahead, bring all your friends. So one by one, you know, there was 3 of these guys that pretty much all had the same mindset. The first person I told you about, the one-man army guy, he ended up screaming into the microphone and just left the server. I don't know what happened. After he said, like, well, he didn't even know what he was defending her on. Legitimately. He came in here, I'm here to protect the innocent. And then Sheldon asked, well, what are you doing? Do you even know anything about the situation? No, I'm here to protect the innocents.
Yeah.
And then he screamed in the microphone and left. Then the second guy, this guy was, I think his name was Bronycop or something. This guy basically came in with the same thing, apparently. Except, I think Leo went onto his Twitter and, like, found that he was retweeting a lot of, a very degenerate stuff, apparently.
Oh.
And was using that to make fun of him, and then he kind of, like, backed down, and then, like, and then Leo was toying with him and said, I want you to apologize. You know, he's taking this stuff serious. Like, yeah, Mr. Leo, yes, sir, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to make a public apology on Twitter. And then there's a third guy, I don't remember. He just kind of, he said, leave us alone, and then left the server. I mean, these guys are crazy. They're crazy.
It's not that they're crazy, it's that something I've noticed a lot with the brony community, and just a lot of them are emotionally unstable. Now, like I said, I have the, I'm not going to show the image on stream because I know how the community is, and, you know,
no, right? Yeah.
I even though my channel's dead and dying, I like it still. So.
Yeah, don't have to, certainly.
But it just, yeah, looking at it, like I said, I don't know, she could be in a really bad spot and seeing, like, see, cheater, you're nothing, that could be a projection of what could be going on with her in her real life, but, so, that's just me. There's certain ways I don't joke about, or certain things I don't joke around with, but, yeah, I just...
Yeah. Yeah, what's even worse about it is that, you know, she draws, you know, that drawing that I posted, and, like, one of the things that she's claiming that we called her, like, she's trying to claim that we called her a slut, and then I have a screenshot of a tweet here, like, where she says, what did she say? She said, and calling me a name that is similar to slut, I guess. Oh, what? Okay, so you're lying. You're telling me that you were lying if you're drawing? Yeah, it's just, you know, what you said about the brony community, it's just... It only takes something very simple to get a reaction out of someone, and I think it's ridiculous. And it's an endless supply of it. It's a near endless supply of people like this. And I think it's fun to go around and do this constantly. And, you know, until people learn that this is the way stuff works. Or it's not much of a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah, you got.
But, I mean, either way, though, we got a bunch of enjoyment out of it. We got screenshots, we got recordings of people. You know, we got the recording of that one guy screaming into the microphone for some reason. I don't know. I'm not joking, Falcon. He was legitimately. I think somebody mentioned his girlfriend, and then he's like, I could. It was inaudible. It was like, ah! And then left.
But all I'm thinking is.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're easily triggered, stay off the internet.
Oh yeah, certainly. I feel like that if you have some sort of like hug box that you really, really want to cling on to, you probably shouldn't be around. I mean, Chambers, I'm pretty sure you let people come onto the stream. You know, I don't think do you really care that much if I have, like, let's say, an opposing viewpoint on something political? Do you really care at the at the bottom line?
No, I mean there's certain
Of course not.
boundaries of like conduct or whatnot.
Oh well, yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I know there's limits.
yeah,
Yeah, I know there's limits. I'm not going to come on here and like let's say I come on here and I say the N-word. There's limits, obviously.
yeah,
Or I say yeah we should, or I'm like being unironic. I'm not memeing when I say like Hitler did nothing wrong. Stuff like that, being unironic. Obviously there are limits, right? But if I have an opposing viewpoint, or I'm just sitting here memeing in the chat, there's no point in overreacting. They're just people behind the screen with their little keyboard, trying to get a reaction, and you just give it to them, and you won't stop, even when they walk up to you and ask you, why are you taking me so seriously? What's wrong? And then you just continue to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just agree with what you said about the Brody community.
there's
Speaking of the.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Falcon.
Yeah, go ahead, Falcon.
Oh, okay. Speaking of the internet and the whole triggering and going nuts, that kind of stuff, you'll love this. Yesterday, I introduced an old friend of mine
Okay.
to 4chan.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's not that 4chan within itself is. I mean, it's people. Some people like to see it as part of the dark web, which it's not. I don't know.
No.
4chan is, I mean, it's a big deal. It has a lot of. It's an origin of a lot of memes, origin of a lot of internet fan bases and groups and stuff. But I don't know. It's not that much of a big deal. The media will make a big deal out of it. But anyways, back to what we were talking about though. I just think it's crazy that we continue to find people like this. I don't know. I just think it's insane.
Well, it's just something to think about. Is there's people, because this is true of myself when I used to float around the commentary community back in 2011 up till 2014, 15-ish. I joined that because I wasn't able to connect in any other way with other people. Simply because where I live, transportation was not very good. So people come on here because either they have no life, or they're trying to escape some sort of life, or they're trying to make a living. And as we've seen, which we'll talk about here in the next few minutes, is trying to cling to internet fame can make you fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. In the case of this individual that we were screwing with, wasn't clinging on to internet fame, just doing a random live stream. We have screwed with people that do have a bit of a claim to fame. We did have one example this morning, and yesterday, which was a pretty big deal because it involved a specific animator. I mean, you don't really. I mean, do you bother if I talk about it or?
I don't care. Like I said, anything goes. This is whatever stream tonight, so I don't care.
Okay. So Minty Root, right?
Minty Root. I'm familiar with her. She does the animations. I've actually seen a couple of her animations. They're actually real well. What about her?
Well, it's actually a guy, but
oh,
no, he's not trans. Yeah, it's actually a guy. With the marrow, he's one of those. So we had a bit of an ordeal yesterday, apparently. So he was having a disagreement with somebody in our server, and it kind of spiraled into him. Like he just couldn't take the heat. Basically, it's one of those cases. Like he just couldn't take the banner and he left. And then they came over. Well, we came over to his server, and then we just kind of continued it. And then we just kind of ended it. It was a comment. And then next thing we know, we wake up, and then we see that he purged his server, banned one of the guys that was really like the main person who he was arguing with, and he kind of purged a few other people. But I don't know. We just had the argument within itself was the concept of growing a spine. Basically, you got to be more assertive. Basically, when it comes to certain situations, and I don't want to get into it because that deep because it goes way far, and I don't want to sit here explaining it for 30 minutes. But basically, the bottom line of it was when it comes to a situation like, let's say, when do you remember the hotel incident at BrodyCon?
Are you
Well, I think
talking?
it was 2015, I believe.
Are you talking about the Toon Critic stuff, or are you talking about? Oh God, I heard
Yeah,
about some
the
hotel
hotel where
stuff,
she.
but no, I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, so apparently back in 2014, 2015, I don't remember when it was. Toon apparently had or hosted, I guess, an orgy in Minty Root's hotel room and did a little thing with his plushie. I guess I don't. It's a bit disgusting.
Yeah,
Did a little
please
thing with
don't.
his plushie. Probably did something a little bit inappropriate. And then after that, he didn't really he tried to like make it public. He didn't really make it that much of a big deal though. And our argument basically was, well, we were using that as an example of you didn't go further than that, right? You need to go further than just make a Tumblr post and try to talk to con staff about it. You need to go further than that. You need to make a video about it because that's a pretty big deal. He did that in your hotel room. He did that to your I think that's a pretty big deal to talk about because he thought he could get away with it, and he pretty much did at the time. And some of his analyst friends defended him at the time for it as well. And we were telling him, well, you should have had a bigger spine. You should have went forward and made a video out of it. You should have made a big deal about it. You should have been vocal about it. That's kind of something that you need to be vocal about. And he didn't, and he took offense to that, and the conversation escalated to him trying to deflect and derail the conversation, and this went on for 1 to 2 hours. It was very long. It was very sluggish, and it was the same thing over and over again. And then it ended off with him, I guess, agreeing at the end of it all. And the next thing we know, he goes back to doing the same thing in the morning.
See if.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just another case of I don't get it.
Another thing about the brony
Yeah,
community is I noticed a lot of them are sexually repressed, or a lot of them are, God, I want to say dysfunctional, or I don't know. But if I caught people doing that crap in my room, I'd be breaking out my taser or getting a stick so fucking fast. Oh my God. Ugh. Why is it?
Yeah. Yeah, and they locked his room.
I hate to sound like the idiot, but I never looked into what bronies are. What are they?
Oh, okay. So as a pretty big veteran, I'm not sure how much of a veteran you are, Chambers.
I'm not a brony.
I'm not 4chan OG veteran, but I'm 2012. Oh, okay, good.
No, I'm not a brony. I float around. I had someone ask me about it. I was like, no, I float around it and I've bumped heads, but I'm not a brony. But...
Yeah, I see you bump heads with some people in the comments. I don't know. I think I used to be, but not really anymore. I still like having.
What is a brony?
Picture. A brony is a person who likes to watch specifically MLP Generation 4 show, FIM. Those kinds of people that like ponies. And I used to be that kind of guy, but I mean, the only thing I got left is the pony, and that's it. I don't really care much about the show anymore. The community, though, interests me a lot because there's a lot of stupid people, as I've already covered too. or multiple people so far, I guess. There's a lot of dumb people. And the community's dying. That's also another thing to add. It's been on decline since 2014, and this year it really has declined because a lot of cons are ending this year. Some of them are very they're finding it hard to keep their financial state running well. We had the whole Toon Critic situation go down. That made a lot of people probably think twice about going around and thinking that any place is, I guess, quote unquote safe on the internet. I'm not sure about that. But after Toon Critic happened, there was just a massive influx of people just getting exposed left and right for basically doing the same stuff, and it's been a mess. Either way, though, I think the only thing that's really worth in the community anymore is just making fun of people acting dumb. That's pretty much it.
Well, it's not just that, but when you have one of the MLP animators, not for the show, but for the actual movie, the one that has a Tempest in it and the Snow King, I think. One of the animators came out convicted for hoarding a bunch of CP.
Oh, yeah.
He had loads of it, so that was a torch too.
It was like 20 to 50,000, and again, it happened all after Toon Critic for some reason. It's just a massive influx of pedophiles at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's like the Rooney community since 2014. It's like you're taking your foot to the pedal and you're pressing as hard as you can, and then 2018 comes along, starting with Toon Critic, and the person will take the brick and just duct tape it to the pedal. Let's try and make it go even faster. Cram it into the dumpster fire. Why not? And I think it's entertaining. I think the fandom's time is up, and I can't wait to see it completely die.
Well, that's not the only fandom that freaking got skewered. The furry community. Oh my, ew, just ew. I followed that drama a little bit. That was some ew. Okay, I knew like
the one that happened 2 months ago.
Carol the Wolf.
3 months ago, I believe.
That's still hot on the coals.
Yeah, there was more than him, by the way.
Oh yeah, there's Snake Thing and. These fandoms, I swear, I mean, okay, I used to be part of a fandom like way back when, even before I joined YouTube, which was the Zelda community, and there was some fucking degenerate shit in there, but what I've seen come out of the brony and the furry community, no. Zelda community doesn't even
to be honest,
touch
Yeah, I see people in the chat. I see one person, Kira the Wolf, ruined that community. No, what ruined the furry community was furries themselves, because here's the problem with that whole situation. The amount of people that were defending him and the amount of people that are still defending him over this stuff, it's ridiculous. It's a disgusting amount of people that are defending him, because the furry community is technically split on this issue. Well, not really split, but it's like a 9-against-1 issue. The furry community has always had a problem with people, over sexualizing animals and stuff. It's been a 9-against-1 issue, ever since then, I guess. And with the internet, what's it called? I'm trying to think right now. The internet is just rapidly expanding, and with the furry community going on it, that was bound to happen. And since then, it's pretty much been a ratio of 9-to-1, against people being against that kind of stuff. But with Kuro, and people like Medic are making videos on that, because of course he is. That situation in particular was such a big deal because it was a big person in the community. You have a person that had 100,000 subs get exposed for something like this, including a bunch of his friends that he hung around. It was more than Kuro, and the people around Kuro were even worse. I'm not sure if you delve deep into that situation, Chambers.
I watched the Medicare video and a few others, but I didn't go digging around the screenshots and stuff itself. There's only so much I can take these days. The anti-SJW community has had its share of pedo hunting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to kind of. I was one of those people that I'm like, well, I'm a bit skeptical. Let's take a look through these. What's so bad? What could be so bad about these, other than what Medicare has talked about? And the people that Kuro was interacting with, the people that in the quote unquote zoo crew, I guess you can say, much worse, much worse stuff. They were happily talking about child furry sex parties, like. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Way worse than what Kiro said, but it's all terrible. Now, fortunately, I think Levi Simmons / Snake Thing, he was arrested, but I think he was let go. I'm not sure. I heard that he was let go, but
okay, so FNGR actually talked about this in a video, because he's been keeping an eye on the situation as well. So pretty much what he explained was they could, if I remember this correctly, is they got him on potential charges, but right now he's being let go because the DA, they want to get Snake Thing on more severe charges and make sure they stick. So he's being let go for now.
So they let him go, but he's going to be charged eventually.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, he's gonna be charged, but from what I understand from the way that FNGR explained it, is they want to make sure that the more severe charges that they are after stick hard. So that's why he's walking around.
I couldn't stand.
So
yeah, I couldn't stand Anthony talking about the situation, and I think I actually put a comment on his recent video about Kuro, and I said, "Damn man, how much are you gonna milk this thing?" Because he's made like way too many videos on the subject. Like the dude's milking everything about it, including information that doesn't really matter. because he has a problem with doing that. But aside from that, but I don't know if he's gonna like, you know, if they're waiting to push even harder charges, go right ahead. Dude deserves it, and I hope everybody else in that zoo crew also, you know, gets it. Kiro is under, I think, full-on investigation by the police, and I think his devices were seized as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And here's the thing, though, that gets me a little bit interested about the situation. When when they're gonna seize their devices, they're probably gonna find more than what was found in those, you know, those logs. They're probably gonna find much more stuff than what we saw in those telegram logs.
Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah, so what were you gonna say?
Honestly, I don't really want to know what's in those logs, but yeah, it just those
Oh,
two.
you don't?
No, no, I'm good. Those two
Yeah,
community.
yeah. I described you to what other people weren't to. Yeah.
Yeah, those two
The
communities.
people y'all are talking about,
What?
the people y'all are talking about, all I can think is, they really need help. I just
No, they don't need
listened
help.
to a video.
Persecution.
I just listened to a video. I just listened to a video explaining what bronies are. Holy crap, those guys need help.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
And a girlfriend.
they need help. They need help.
all bronies are degenerates.
Oh hi, Black, you're here.
Yeah,
Hey,
I just noticed him in the thing. Got room for one more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he
No,
was
'cause
there for a while.
I just came in on the live stream and I heard you talking about how bronies are sexually repressed, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want in on that.
Oh yeah, I've been sitting here making like talking about, you know, us screwing around with certain people, you know, bronies specifically getting, you know, they're overreacting to something that's really not a big deal, and they can't take criticism, you know, the usual stuff.
Did you talk about the romance thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the first thing that I talked about, and I explained that whole
Those
situation.
were some good memes.
Those were, it was the amount of info we got out of that situation. Holy shit!
That was so good.
You guys.
Because
what
I
were you gonna say, James?
Can't.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Black.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just quoting a dumb meme. Go on ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you guys pretty much do the brony community what the alt CC did to the CC, where they kind of went and triggered them, and granted the alt CC like fell to the wayside because of just some stuff, interfighting and things like that. I think it's pretty much dead now.
CC?
Huh?
CC? Wait, which community are we talking about?
Commentary community, and then there was a small group that kind of rose up for
Oh.
a while called the
Oh,
that rose up and pretty much did
well,
the
I
same
don't
thing
know.
you guys did.
there's some
Commentary-
BWQ. Okay.
I don't know. I've heard you describe like anti-SJW community. I don't know if I really want to call it that. I fit them all into this category. They're all commentators.
Oh,
But
no,
they're
no,
going to
no.
vary in the kind of content that they make.
No,
and
no,
the
no,
kind of
wait,
people
wait,
that
no,
they
no.
make
The
videos
com-
on.
wait,
I'm not
the-
sure what you're
The
referring to.
community I'm specifically referring to that's lower than Pyrocynical, Leafy, Drama Alert, they are specifically called the commentary community, or lovingly nicknamed NeoCC. When I say
Okay.
anti-SJW community, that is a whole different set of content creators that even the media takes
Yeah,
a
that's like
stab
Chew
at.
on Head and those people.
Skeptic,
Okay.
Sinatra says. So yeah, no. When I say commentary
Okay,
community,
yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah, when I say commentary community, I'm talking about people like Youngblood, TOG, Nation of Johnny K, Doodle Tones, you know,
Okay,
that
yeah, I
bunch.
see what you mean.
So,
Okay, so you don't mean like pyrocynicals,
Pyrocyn-
yeah, I
you know,
know,
like the
that's-
Leon Lushes and stuff.
no, Pyrocynical, Leaf are on a whole different level. The commentary community, NeoCC, is, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but they're on a lower sphere. They're like bottom rung.
Yeah, they are.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I
I
feel like
didn't.
Leafy and
I only
Pyro-
recognize Doodle Time.
I think
Oh,
Leafy
sorry,
and
Sal.
Pyro are on a different level in the sense of they've kind of moved on from what they were doing, especially Leafy. They kind of moved on from what they were doing. But concerning skeptics, I still kind of categorize them as commentary and technicality because they're still sitting in front of camera. They're still recording themselves talking about a certain subject. I still kind of like put them under that category because I swear to God, man, we're gonna have way too many subcategories.
yeah.
But they're just a completely different kind of. They're a completely different kind of commentators. You know, you see somebody like, let's say, fucking Pyro. You know, they'll talk about certain memey things. They'll talk about this person needs to be stopped in all caps. And then you go over to someone like, let's say, I guess Armored Skeptic, and they make a video, you know, just kind of shitting on someone being stupid. I guess I don't know. I mean, it's still you're still commentating on the, you know, what you're looking at, but you're doing it in a different light, like concerning politics. I guess I don't know, comparing to just memeing. I don't know. It's still commentary in my eyes, but if you want to go ahead and call it that, I don't have a problem.
Oh no, it all technically is commentary. It's just that particular bottom rung of that entire sphere is specifically named a commentary community, or more people have now come to name it the Neo CC. So that's all. But go ahead, Falcon.
Speaking of the pyrocynicals, does anyone happen to remember who Zaptai was?
Oh God!
No.
So wait, Sal, you know who Zaptai is?
I don't remember. Okay, so Zaptai was this guy who used to, I guess he used to be friends with Pyro. He made Pyro let him like put a few of his videos on Pyro's channel. He was like the bear. He was like the toy bear that was stitched together. I'm not sure if you remember him.
Let me see.
No, I definitely remember him. He's back.
I'm asking Chambers.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
I'm
just search
looking
up
up
Zaptai. You might recognize him.
Yeah, because I used to, let's see. Zaptai. No, I'm looking at his logo. I never watched this individual.
You've never seen that bear character?
No.
Okay. So anyways, I guess he died like 2 years. Well, not like actually died, but his channel got like destroyed 2 years ago, I think, because I think it had something to do with him like interacting with under. Wow,
yeah.
You notice the theme here. You notice the theme.
Yeah. So what happened was, Zaptai was like trying to get into like a relationship with a 16-year-old girl, and it turns out she was actually 13. So, and one of the texts that he sent to her was, "You're worth getting arrested for."
Oh.
So his friends found out and put him on blast, as they should. And then he's been gone for like the past 2 years, and then randomly on Saturday he came back with a 40-minute video, and everyone was like, "What the hell? Zaptai's back."
Yeah, and I actually remember that whole situation specifically because, so before I joined the Barrel and all that other stuff, I used to host server raids on my server. This is a while. This is old Stalin. This was the beginning of autism for Stalin. And I used to host server raids. Usually we numbered about 10 to 12 people at the biggest. Okay, and we would go into servers and we just spam to piss people off. And one of the servers we went to was actually Zaptai's server.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what? The deepest of lore.
Yeah, we raided Zaptai's server. Yeah, back in the day when I actually did like the lowest tier, might as well say this, low tier raids are just spam. Spamming isn't good. It's not good kind of raid. But anyways, though, yeah, apparently Zaptai was that kind of guy. Man, I guess I'm gonna look up his channel. What would you say? You put out a video a week ago or something?
No, it was like on Saturday or Friday he put out a video. Yeah, he's back. I saw the notification. I had to do a double take because I didn't believe it was real.
Well, let me see here. What are the comments like? Oh, these comments are gonna be fun. Oh, people are actually.
Oh, like, those comments are.
Well, I actually see a majority of the people saying, "Oh, he's back." I mean, I don't know what to say.
Half of them are like, "Oh, we're so glad you're back," and half of them are just calling him a pedo.
Oh yeah, I see all the comments. Okay, this is worth going to jail for. I see all the comments.
That's such a good one.
All right. Okay. So were you gonna say something, Chambers?
Oh no, I just I looked him up and I thought I saw a different name, but no, I was incorrect. That's something else.
Yeah, this guy was one of the commentators that Pyro occasionally let them like put videos on their channel, I guess, for a shout out indirectly, I guess. But concerning commentary channels, though, I mean, I don't know how to describe the community. I mean, some people will say, well, it's gotten worse. Some people say it's gotten better. I don't really. I don't know what to say because I think it's all dumb. I don't know. I kind of wish Leafy would come back to try and combat what's going on right now. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about the commentary community now.
Oh, I don't.
Oh god.
I really don't poke around in there. I actually had someone ask me tonight is what do you think of the commentary community? Who are the people that I need to avoid? And I'm just like, I wouldn't even recommend even sniffing around that community, but I don't know how they are anymore.
Well, I think there's people worth checking out. I think there's people worth checking out. And then the concept of, well, who should I avoid? I don't think you should avoid anyone. I think you should poke your nose everywhere. Not in private stuff, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
go around. This is the internet. Go on your own little adventure. You can go on your own little autistic adventure, I guess. And whoever you want to check out, as long as it's legal, please. Please be illegal. Oh no, you can go around and watch whoever you want. I don't think it really matters. I don't like people talk about. I think somebody in the chat earlier concerning the Brody community said, "Well, definitely avoid Lillipede. Like she's the worst." I'm like, "Well, okay, well I can get shitting on Pete, but I'm like, I don't think it's appropriate to categorize anybody as the worst because I think Toon Critic already. By the way,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate the who's the worst, who's the best, who's my favorite. I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like. For me,
I mean, I don't.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
I just want the CC it because he.
Oh, I was
did-
gonna say.
Okay, you first. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shut up.
let Mike
Okay. All right. I guess I'm gonna go. All right. I was gonna say like I don't like Lily either, but like she's not the worst. I'd say like Stalin said, Toon Critic's the worst because objectively he was a terrible person and also his content was absolute cancer. So
Cartoons? Anyone? Cartoons?
You apparently don't know the history of Pete. You need to go do a dig, my dude, because Pete has a history.
I know. I know the history. Oh, I know the history of Pete. I
No, I'm aware of the lore.
Yeah, the CP.
I've seen the Kiwi Farms threads. I've seen the Kiwi Farm threads, dude. I've seen some pretty bad stuff. But concerning Pete right now at the moment, ignoring all of that, I know well enough that Pete's a lol cow. However, a lot of people seem to forget about that stuff. Obviously,
yeah.
It's only people really on Kiwi Farms and other lol cow threads that are still covering that. But a lot of people have kind of ignored it. I don't know. Somebody needs to bring it up again on a video. But concerning Pete right now, and her place in the community right now, really not the worst. I think she's crazy. I think she says really crazy stuff, especially under Twitter before it got suspended for a very particular reason.
Oh, I know.
Because threatening people. Yeah. Well, not the best kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, I am completely aware of Pete's history. I'm aware of that, but
yeah,
right now
I'm aware of the lore.
Toon was objectively the worst at that moment.
Well, considering if you dig a little bit further into Pete's past, like if Pete has no room to call people pedo at all, it's like, dude, your history. Shut the fuck up.
Oh no.
Oh,
Get out of here. I mean, seriously.
Stockholm.
Like Lily's entire persona is based on the fact that she's a hypocrite, but I feel like she almost kind of revels in the fact that she's a hypocrite and acts like that justifies her doing what she does.
I don't know.
Like mental gymnastic.
I don't know what her deal is. I mean, I take offense. Well, not offense, but I really oppose, disabling ratings, disabling, people checking your numbers. Basically, that's a really like a shady thing to do.
It's a punk move, to be honest.
And then her excuse is like, it doesn't. Well, people don't really need to see it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, well, if it doesn't matter, then why hide it?
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem? Why? Why do you only allow certain comments to be made, huh? What's the problem if you don't care? What's the problem?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. She's something else.
Speaking of crazy people,
I don't know. I mean, crapping on Pete, yeah.
Have you got?
Go right ahead. I want to hear more crazy people.
Who's ever doing the mic
More
rubbing? Quit it.
Right
But
No,
have
not
you
me.
have you heard
That's,
about the conclusion
Sorry,
that's
that was
Falcon?
Oh, it's Falcon.
that was me. I was getting them walking over somewhere, and I was like, it's touching the microphone. I
Well, hold the
thought
microphone out
I
or
clicked
something.
it to the off position. Oh, the headset, but I thought I had clicked the little inline cut off to the off position, but I was like, oh crap, I didn't.
We'll quit.
Sorry.
We'll quit quit deep throating the mic then. So what were you saying? More crazy people?
Have you heard about the conclusion that's soon to be coming to the IBS genre, so to speak? Have you heard about that?
IBS.
Internet
No.
blood sports.
I mean, I know what internet
keep on
blood sports is,
abbreviating.
but yeah,
yeah, you
but I'm
keep-
not
you keep
sure
on
of the lore right now. I'm kind of
Okay.
behind.
So, like, I've stayed away from a...
Describe this.
Okay, so pretty much is, and they have a professional MMA fighter involved in this shit, not kidding, Tara La Rosa. Andy and Tonka are scheduled to fight in Knoxville, Tennessee, a amateur MMA fight January 19th of next year. Like, I'm not bullshitting.
What?
Tara La Rosa is involved in this.
What?
No, hold on, wait, let me pull it up. Let me flip to the TV here. Okay, so... Oh, I do need to.
Olin. Andy, what are you doing?
All I
Stop.
can think about is two guys circling each other, yelling insults.
Dude! Okay, so...
These guys are not going to touch each other.
And I'm not kidding, this is by Tara La Rosa. If you look her up, she's a MMA fighter. Stop it, Falcon. Professional MMA fighter, and she's the one that helped set this up. She's calling it a shit show. There's a tweet, and I linked it to someone, and I would have to go onto my personal Facebook to get it, and I'm not doing that right now. But yeah. So here's the fighting poster, and it. God, this is.
Andy Worski versus. Oh, this is what you're talking. Okay,
Yes.
so here's the thing. Like at first, I thought I'm like, oh, this is an excellent idea. I think that this is an excellent idea at first, but then you had the Logan Paul and KSI fight, which was a complete scam, complete and utter scam.
Yeah.
And anybody who defends it, shame on you. But that was proven to be a scam, obviously. I'm not opposed to like actual like, oh yeah, go right if you want to settle your differences, like quote unquote a man, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Duke it out in the ring. Why not? Go right ahead. Provide entertainment for both of your audiences. Why not? But I become opposed to it when you start monetizing it. Like you have the goal of just creating a massive scene, and the only purpose is to monetize, not because you have a beef with each other, but because you just want to do. That's what I'm opposed to.
Yeah, let me.
If you want to, like, let's say,
Good.
like, let's hold on a minute. Like, let's say Ross. You remember who Ross was on Medicare's channel? Ross?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
So yeah. So let's say Ross and like challenges Jim to the ring, and Jim says yes. That is 100% something that I'd be down for. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see.
That'd be
But
awesome.
something like KSI and Logan Paul, no one wants to see that. You know that their only goal is to try and make millions of dollars off of it, which they did, and they're going to do the same thing again because they scammed people the first time.
Of
What were
course.
you going to say?
Okay. No, I found the link status. I flipped to the other screen, so my personal Facebook. Okay, so here's
Okay.
what she says, because this tells me, this actually speaks volumes that she's not freaking happy with the way it's going either.
Okay.
Somebody took issue with the cartoon representation of Tonka or whatnot, and she goes, I've seen them, and both him and Andy look unrecognizable. Since my name's attached to this shit show, I asked to have it done this way, and I think it looks good. Quit spewing your weird conspiracy theory bullshit and enjoy the show. So she
Wait, what's the deal here?
What do you mean?
Like, what concerning since my name's attached to shit, so I have to. What do you have to have it that way?
Because, okay, from what I understand, is Andy and Tonka had to send in professional-looking photos for the promotional poster or whatnot, and what she's saying is
Okay.
the photos that they sent in, nobody's gonna recognize, which is not good. It just
Okay.
So she had the cartoon version here, and he does do good work. The artist who did this is called Optic Decay. He runs a show
Okay.
called Morning Decay. And then I guess they took a snapshot from one of Andy's streams or got a title card or whatnot. But so she had it done this way because I guess the photos were shit. So, but she doesn't sound like she's happy about being attached to this crap anymore, even though she's the one that helped set it up. So I just it's
so the bottom line, the issue stems from these two photos they sent for the poster.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? Okay, well, looking at that poster, I'm like, yeah, I think that's a pretty crappy poster for them to fight. But anyways, I mean, I don't know. This kind of seems dumb. I think this looks dumb.
Dude.
I'm all for these two fighting though. I don't know much about them besides I think they go on Killstream frequently. I'm not sure.
Tonka doesn't go on Killstream anymore. Andy
no, I
will
think
show
they
up.
were,
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I know, like, didn't they used to stream together a lot, and then I forgot what happened, but then there was, like, a schism where Andy and someone else kind of separated from Tonka and Failure, or something along those lines.
From what I remember, and I'm not, like I said, I backed away from a lot of this shit because it keeps imploding. Like I've said it in two streams and one video, I'm pretty much done with this community because it's stupid.
Yeah.
But from what I understand,
only Medicaid.
Yeah, from what I understand is supposedly Failure and Andy ended the Kumite or pretty much killed it without Tonka knowing. I don't know. I stay away from this shit. But from a graphic design point with the poster, because I thought it weird, is everything is there's a special effects in Photoshop. If you work with Photoshop, and you go to the special effects for the layers, there's a special effect called bevel and emboss. And what that pretty much does is it can put a 3D look or an engraven look to any image, text, object that you're working with. And so I found it really interesting design choice that she had everything either beveled and embossed and either put it in an engraving or made it pop up. Like everything on here has that effect. And the lighting is different too. So so it's, I don't know, it's really, this has a glow effect, but yeah, it doesn't look bad, but at the same time, I don't know, it looks fan made, you know?
Oh no, the first thing that I would look at, if I'm on that plan, if I'm on like that kind of planning team, like, okay, we need to plan this out. First, we need promotional stuff. We to actually show people, okay, this is, what time, like the picture of the main two guys, that are gonna beat the crap out of each other. And then I see this, and I'm like, what were you thinking? This is not this. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's my take on it. I could care less about the drama surrounding the person who's not like interested in the shit. So I guess, or is kind of tired of it. What I'm looking at is something that's not good promotional material for what they want to promote. That's all I'm looking at here. And as for the person in the chat that said it's just another setup to be a tie, well, we don't know that. We don't know that until the fight actually happens and we see how it plays out. Do they actually like conclude it? Do they actually do something about it? Then we'll know.
Here's my prediction. Because there's two options. Let me add this before I say anything. Guess what they also freaking did? Okay, this is how retarded this is getting. People are betting their channels.
Okay.
If Tonka wins, Medicare and Andy have to delete their channels. And then if Tonka, yeah.
Did Medicare agree to this?
Yeah, no, Medicare is the one that first brought up the suggestion, or I think it was it Tonka? And then Medicare counter-offered saying that I'll delete my channel if you win, but if you lose, you have to put on a dress, makeup, and heels, and go shouting that you're a $2 whore on the street. I don't... Something along that nature, and then Andy threw his channel as well.
You think if Medicare loses the bet? You think Medicare loses the bet? You really think he's going to do the hell?
I doubt it.
Medicare is just screwing with you. That's all he's doing. That's what he is. He's screwing with you. And he's. Did he take the bait? Did he actually take the bait?
I think so. It's now like on the table. These are now like on the table.
Medicare's not going to delete anything.
Yeah, he should know. He should know that Medicare's bullshit.
Tonka should know
You
better.
know that.
He really should know better.
Well, Jim has torched his channels before, and when people have found him, he's gained all of his audience back. So I don't know. Jim knows that he can get his audience back just fine. Andy, however,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
right, but still.
sure if he'd get his audience back.
No,
Well, here's the
Andy's
thing
a
about
dead
Metacritic.
meme.
Here's the thing about Metacritic. Even if he does decide, okay, yeah, I'll abide by the agreement. I'm not a pussy. I'll torch my channel. Okay, there's so many channels devoted to just re-uploading Metacritic's videos, so you can just go on those channels, download them, and just re-upload them. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What does Andy do outside of? I mean, does he have like a full-time job or something?
Honestly,
I don't care. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he does YouTube full time. As far as I know he's done vlog videos with someone dubbed Asian Andy. He used to do videos with Baked Alaska too. I don't know what he does outside of YouTube. I really don't.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, Andy
Yeah.
used to do like these anti-SJW videos, and then after he became irrelevant, he basically went to like the alt-right side with JF and.
To all right.
I mean, kind of, because like then he started talking about like race realism and stuff, and
I
that
don't know.
kind of
I mean, the term
revived his
alt-right,
channel.
like makes my eyes roll because people use it way too often to describe someone when they don't really even know what like. God, it's one of those things that kind of infuriates me. Like they'll use a term without knowing, like, well, who really is alt-right? who really defines themselves as alt-right?
Yeah, I guess.
There's okay.
Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah. What?
With alt-right, race realism pretty much is that differences between the races, like strengths, weaknesses, and with the alt-right, because I've actually read upon what they actually believe in, and there's different branches within the alt-right that they actually are for a white ethno-state.
Yep.
They are for protecting.
Some of them are, yeah.
White nationality, that other races are below them. There's even some beliefs that women should stay second on the poll. It just depends on the branch that you're looking at, and they're categorized. I think I saw about like different shields, emblems. I was reading off of Wikipedia, for God's sakes. So, but yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They do legitimately believe
um,
people of color are a subhuman species. I actually got into a fight with them
for me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for me, race within itself is only a thing because that's how genetics changes among Homo sapiens, Latin, humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're really gonna get down into the fundamentals, I mean, yeah, sure, there's differences. Some races of humans might be superior to others, and well, that's what that is. But actually believing like fundamentally that your race is superior, I think that's a ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
But I don't know with the alt-right, they're not a big deal. They're dying. Like they were sort of hard hitting for a little bit of time, and now they're dying. They're irrelevant. People think that they're a big deal. They're not a big deal.
Oh no, I don't. I'm just
people will label people as alt-right just because they feel like doing it. I feel like people do that too much. Alt-right is
joke.
It's dead. It's dead. It's a joke. Exactly. It's a joke. It's dead. It doesn't matter anymore.
The alt-right.
It became a parody of itself in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
The alt-right to me are equivalent to the damn incels or the monks of MGTOW. They squawk a bunch of shit, but like when you come at them, it's like, you guys are dumb. Get the fuck out of here. You guys are a bunch of whiny little man children that, have superiority complexes. Get the fuck out of here. No one wants to deal with you. I'm
gonna hop out for a few.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hop out for a few. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
You guys have
okay.
fun.
All right.
I mean, they're essentially like them and like radical feminists are essentially two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean?
They're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like feminists and the alt-righters are all very self-righteous and believe that like their cause is just the most important, and they will do anything to further that cause, no matter how morally dubious it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you have incels who are involuntary celibate. It's like, no, just change your attitude. It's probably not your time yet to get in a relationship. And then you have, oh my god, you have the alt-right, which I know from what I've argued with a few alt-righters, like legitimate ones, they said that a lot of them laugh at Richard Spencer, but Richard Spencer is alt-right, and some of the crap I heard come out of his mouth, that whiteness is a
Yeah.
spiritualness experience, whatever, and it's just like, oh my god. And for me, I won't even entertain the alt-right shit.
I still laugh at that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say I still laugh at that video of him getting punched in the face.
Me too.
like, like in the middle of the
was-
sentence, he just gets interrupted and like just knocked in the face, and it's like one of the funniest videos.
And it is a weak-handed punch. It's a joke of a punch.
It really is.
I haven't seen it, but that alt-right shit to me is so...
It's so good.
Oh, I need to go find it then. But the alt-right stuff...
Oh, it's a gem.
It's from a while back.
Oh, yeah. I might have heard about whispers about it, but I don't think I actually sat down and watched the video itself. But yeah, with the alt-right stuff, I was telling all these two guys, I think was in a chat of Cognitive Thought well after the stream ended, and they're like, well, we need a breed or whatnot, and no race traders, and freaking, it's just like, dude, get that crap out of my face. My family's mixed by blood and by marriage. I don't care. You guys are retarded. So I don't get that shit. I really
The thing
don't.
is, like, the thing is about the alt-right is that they essentially, like, want to keep the race pure, but they don't account for the fact that people are going to make the choice to get into, like, interracial relationships, and they have no power to change that. And the only feasible way you could, like, make a white ethno-state, or any ethno-state for that matter, is to, like, forcibly remove all the minorities in said state, and that is immoral, especially, like, here in the West. Because you see what's happening in Africa, with, like, South Africa, with all those farmers, right? They're all getting killed and stuff. That's horrible.
I've
And
heard
then
It's
about
these
that.
Rwanda all over.
alt-righters kind of, they almost want to reflect that within the states, and it's like, morally speaking, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's I hate to say it, but I don't know what it is about the continent of Africa and the people and the cultures there, but it seems that they cannot sustain a nation state. They can't. I don't know what it is, but they always end up doing exactly what Rwanda did and what South Africa is doing right now.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And the race purity argument, no one, okay, if you look at people's lineages and things like that, nobody is purely white. Like for me, this is just from what my family members have told me. I have Portuguese mixed in there, Russian, a little Scotia of Cherokee, French. So it's just like there's no one is pure anymore. You have people mixing. You have genetics that either were dormant in the next child that became active in their offspring. So it's just like there's no such thing as a pure whiteness anymore. For you guys to even argue that point, and also something too for the white ethno-state is a lot of them, because I pointed this out too, is a lot of like the food that we have, the architecture, our clothing, our freaking technology is from other ethnicities, other races, other cultures. Look, our architecture is some of it's influenced by Japanese, Roman. Our food, we take a lot from Asia, a lot from Latino, Spain, things like that, and have integrated it into our products. It's just like you cannot argue the white ethno-state with half your brain. You can't. It doesn't make any sense. That's what just like, you guys, you're dumb. So, sorry, a bit of a tangent, but
Well,
I'll
just
never
what
get
you
the
were mentioning
argument.
about
Go ahead.
what you were saying, just to put a pinprick on the part that you said technology coming from this place and the other place and all that. You want to look at supersonic aerodynamics. Where did that originally come from? Oh wait, Russia. Where did liquid-fueled rockets come from? Russia. Where did solid-fuel rockets come from? China. Bolt-action rifles come from Germany. It's all an amalgamation of different things.
Yeah, and that's true enough. And like, we've had people of color invent stuff and add to our philosophies, our science. Unfortunately, I don't have anything off the top of my head, but they've added to our culture as well. So it just, you can't say, oh well, we're gonna go one way, one race. It's like, well, if you're gonna go one race, then you better freaking toss out all the shit all the other races created for you, not use any of that stuff at all. So I don't know. It's just like colleges.
This is what I've tried to point out.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was trying to point this out to a friend of mine a while back when she said, "Oh, we should just throw all bicycles in the dumpster." I said, "Okay, well, you can't have pneumatic tires. You can't have unibody construction. You can't have pretty much 90% of the things necessary for your car to exist. Not only that, but you got to get rid of airplanes too. You have to get rid of a lot of things you find in ships. You decide to make things more pure. You're going to get rid of, basically you're going to get rid of everything that makes your life possible."
Pretty much. And that's what these freaking idiots don't understand. It's like also the colleges tossing out all literature done by white old men like Shakespeare and Thomas Edison and things like that. It's like, you guys are stupid. You guys are moving the statues. They're trying to, have a war, this freaking dumb war of both people of color trying to toss out white history, as they dub it, because what happened back then with the slavery, and everyone wants to claim the damn victim card with that garbage, which was, the slavery was wrong. Every race has been enslaved. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, I don't care. But they're trying to erase each other's achievements, literature, and things like that. It's like, you guys tossing out what was already put into place is not going to make the other color go away. It's not going to make the other set of people go away. If anything, you guys just look stupid to the rest of us, and no one wants anything to do with you. Now, the problem is, you have, like I said, you have the alt-right, and then you have BLM. BLM has made an impact, and they've been protected by very, very large outlets, including Obama, when he was in presidency. So you have that. Alt-right so much isn't protected, but you know what I mean. It's stupid. It really is. I wish these people would just sit down and shut the fuck up. I actually got into an argument with a friend of mine over BLM. He's a person of color, and we were talking about it, and I got irritated because it was on my personal Facebook post. He was talking about BLM or whatnot. I'm like, dude, this group is not. Why are you promoting this group? They're out to kill cops. You have the Black Panthers involved, which are Muslim police, and then they destroy shit. They freaking loot. So, and he goes, well, that's not the heads. I'm like, dude, the group has surpassed the freaking heads. You need to install a new group if you want to have legitimate values, at the same time tackle legitimate racism. My freaking comments got deleted off that post. I'm like, why did you delete my stuff? And he goes, well, I didn't want an argument. And I'm just going, so I don't even talk to him about it anymore. Just like, yeah, no, you don't want to have conversation.
Yeah. Speaking as a black person myself, when BLM first started, I believe it was because of like the whole situation with Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin, and I was on board because it was like, I know Mike Brown's situation was like kind of different, but Trayvon Martin's, like, as far as I remember, was just complete BS, like with the whole thing with George Zimmerman. And then BLM slowly morphed into this like very anti-cop, very like borderline, well, not even borderline, like blatantly racist movement, and like certain chapters of it have become incredibly violent, and I just I refuse to support it for like my own reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with like the sentiment that like Black Lives Matter. I mean all lives matter, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I just like a lot of chapters of the movement itself just I can't support them because of what they believe in. They believe in killing cops, and I don't think that's right. I'm not exactly a big fan of the police. I don't hate them. I don't love them, but I don't think they should be killed for doing their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain sectors that are really bad eggs, and there are such thing as bad cops. There was actually a scandal, if you don't remember, it was a set of animations, and I forgot the animation program because it's very cheap and you can get it online. But there's a scandal going on how it was a detective and a sergeant. I forgot what PD station this was out of, but they made these set of animations that actually depicted or reflected instances going on in this particular police department where you had an investigator having a relationship with one of the suspects. You had a reference to someone called the Acid Queen, pretty much saying, well, in order to move up in the ranks, you have to sleep with this particular person. I don't remember if you remember those. Those were around 2010, 2011. That was with the that 11-year-old that said that she was gonna stick a Glock in people's mouth and shoot them. That was around that time. Those animations were sold, but that's like an example of bad police force. I know that there's two cases also going on right now. One has to do with Black Friday. Somebody decided to shoot in a mall, and a person of color, I forget his name. It was a young man. He was brandishing a gun, and they instantaneously shot him on sight. And a lot of witnesses have said that there was no communication for him to get down on the ground. They just saw him with a gun, bam, shot him. And the cops have come forward and go, oh, well, he was a suspected shooter. No, he had nothing to do with the shooting. He was nabbed because he was brandishing a gun. And it brought up the argument of, well, what if he was trying to help de-escalate the shooting situation? What if he had a concealed permit carry? So details
Yeah.
are still coming out. And then there's another one that has to do with a security guard at a bar. Once again, person of color. He had a gun in a suspect's back at his knee, and he was de-escalating a situation. And the cops came in, and there's two different stories. According to the cops, they told him to put his gun down, get down on the ground and whatnot, and supposedly there was no markings on his shirt that said security or anything like that. Now, witnesses are saying that there was no communication, that the security logo on his cap was clearly visible, and he was clearly marked as a security guard, and that the police just shot him. So there's two instances right now going around of police shooting people of color. So those details are still coming out, though.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware of those two. I haven't been really following it because like I'm just so done with like all the all the BS. But
Yeah.
those are interesting cases.
Yeah, I mean, and go ahead.
I really wish I could like. Oh, I really. I live in a city that is 80%, 90% somewhere on there black. I am a very small minority. So much to the extent that you may, depends on the study you look at, but some studies say 4, some say 6, some say 8 percentage of the population is diagnosed autistic. That is about where it is for the city I live in. And every time you turn on the news, do you find that someone was shot or multiple people were shot? Every single time it's a black person shooting either another black person or a black person shooting a white person. It never goes the other way. So they throw that all over the local news all the time. Oh, black people are being oppressed by the white people. Come on, come on. Who is the majority here?
Kelly Thomas. Kelly Thomas. Kelly Thomas. Who the heck is Kelly Thomas? Ken was saying, what about Kelly Thomas? So what? Black people are being shot. He was beat to death on camera and the cops walked. Kelly Thomas. That's a name I have not ever heard before.
I don't recognize that name.
Neither do I.
I'm gonna have to look in.
Let's see. 2011. Who lived on the streets of Fullerton, California. Whoa. Oh. Apparently, yeah, he was killed. Oh, this is a... Oh, it's a white guy. Yeah, see, I never heard about this. 2011, yeah, that was before I really started to dig into a lot of the... Way before I started digging into the anti-SJW stuff, but... Yep. It's just... I don't know, there's a lot of crazy crap going on right now. But yeah, if people would just, take the time to sit down and shut up and listen to each other, I think we can solve a lot of problems. But people don't want to do that. But yeah, perfect example is that stupid fight set up with the damn IBS crowd. And like I said, I still like a lot of people in that community or whatnot, but I think this fight is beyond dumb. I think, as I put in a tweet, 2 weeks ago, it's been acting like bitches, about ready to enter into a slap fight. People were saying, "Oh well, don't you like a real fight between real men?" I'm like, "No, this isn't a real fight. This shit is retarded. This is beyond retarded. This started as a YouTube beef over a show getting killed, and possibly much more. There's freaking gay Discord ops involved. There's some other bullshit involved." But, like, now you guys are escalating this to a physical fight because neither one of you can put your egos in check. And I like Tonka. I do. He's done me well in the past. What he's done for me is I have high respects for, helped me squash something very major. So, but... I had to unfollow Andy because some of his antics with Vamp. He actually started to sexually harass her a bit. I'm going, oh, nope, bye-bye. I'm not sitting around and watching that. Bye. So I just...
Andy's fallen so far from grace.
How long ago was that? Because I really stopped paying any attention to him in February.
Oh, February was when he was helping kind of deal with the DO5 stuff. I think the stuff with Vamp was last month. In October.
Oh.
So, yeah, because I started to see snapshots, and I'm going like, that's legitimate sexual harassment. I'm out of here. And I've been keeping quiet about stuff because I really don't want involved. Yeah, we talked about some stuff on stream, but I'm not going after anybody. I'm like going, nah, I'll sit from the sidelines, but I ain't poking nobody with a no damn stick. I'm good. And I'll still watch the Kumite from time to time, if I'm up for it or if I notice it on. But otherwise than that, it's just like, yeah, no. And what really sucks too is you've seen a lot of, because the more that this IBS stuff has stayed around, you've seen a lot of relationships pretty much go to shit. And the people floating around it, like you had, and it's not my business, but I started to hear whispers. Tonka and Vamp broke up. You had stuff between Andy and Failure go to shit. Stuff between Failure and Tonka go to shit. Failure went off to do his own thing. I kind of feel bad for the big guy. And then, who was it? Cognitive Thought and Alenska, his fiance broke up. I don't know why, not my business. But it just seems like a lot of relationships have pretty much gone to hell, and it's kind of depressing to watch. A lot of people don't like to be around each other so much anymore. It's like, oh, this ain't fun anymore. So...
Yeah, internet blood sports kind of... I mean, that's kind of the point it is to, like, tear people apart. But, like, it's having a negative effect on the people who are hosting it. Because Andy and JF used to be, like, best buds.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're, like... And now, like, Andy is basically a meme. well, JF has like some modicum of respect, even though he shouldn't because he tried to date a retarded girl and impregnate her. But whatever.
There was actually a stream that showed up in
What?
my Yeah, no, that's another thing that you need to go read up on JF and his lore, because there's a lot of lore to JF. Jean-Francis Gardy.
There's so much lore to JF.
Oh, I've touched upon some of it, and I just went, not my business. I don't want to poke around. I don't hang around the guy. I don't watch his shit. But recently though, there was, and I forgot to click on it.
I will put him on blast.
I don't want to get involved in that mess. But no,
I'll put him on blast.
Andy and Jeff actually, not Andy and
No,
Jeff.
I was just gonna.
Andy and JF actually recently did a stream together called their Reunion. It was in my suggestion box, but I never clicked on it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh God, why?
So.
I mean, I'll happily put JF on blast for what he did because it was creepy as hell. So essentially what happened is there is this girl who was 19 years old. Like she was legally an adult, but mentally, after being evaluated by 2 psychologists, she was determined to have the mental capacity of like a 10 or 11-year-old. And JF was trying to take her away from her family and like have kids with her, even though like he knew that psychologically she was still had the mind of a child. And the fact that he thought that was okay and he tried to justify it is like really disgusting. And I don't know how anyone can respect him after what he did, because that's horrible.
Well,
I know exactly
go ahead.
how the people around her feel. Until about a month ago, I had nothing to do with my old school. I graduated there June 2014. There is one girl there who is 17, and yeah, she might as well be that girl's sister. She's like a small child, and I don't know whatever would have happened to her, but apparently some neighbor boy was trying to get her to have sex with him, and an old friend of mine she's very very level-headed had to pull me out of the room.
Yeah.
I have only once ever been that almost murderous fury.
Yeah, no, I will say with this sphere, there's a lot of people that actually get a pass when it comes to certain things. Another one, and I avoid her, I don't go near her. Another one that gets a pass is Aiden Paladin. She's another one you want to fucking read up on. She is what I call, she hasn't done anything with any little kids, or she hasn't, tried to get together with any minors, but she's actually hosted a stream to where she watched CP, Kraut and T, and I don't hang around Kraut Tree, don't really watch his stuff anymore, but I did watch this one, as well as dug into some stuff that another user, Devil's Advocate, gave me. She not only hosted a live stream watching CP, she's doxed herself, but yeah, she's another nasty individual. And what was it? You would have to look for the video Kraut and T did, where she was watching a particular CP of dogs pretty much getting it on with kids. It has a Japanese term, I don't remember what it is. Oh yeah, like I said, she's a whole nother lore that you need to look into, and just
Of course it's Japanese.
It's like, you
Of
are
course it's
nasty.
Japanese, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and how I found out about that is, I guess she tried to accuse DA, Devil's Advocate, of doxing her, and when she doxed herself by showing her damn pill bottle on stream, so it's just like, yeah, she's an idiot, but when I started digging into her, and ED has a copy of that particular stream, I'm like, I ain't clicking on that shit. But yeah, she's another one that gets a free pass, and it's just like, ooh, I don't care what her content is, it's just like, nope. nope, you hosted CP. You, my chick, need to
Yeah, I
go.
know.
Go find
I
help.
recognize that name.
No, not yours, Mitten.
Yeah,
So,
like that's crazy.
and
I
she's
recognized the name when you said it, but I didn't
yeah.
know there was that much lore.
Oh yeah, she's got lore to her too, and she's posting news all over 4chan and shit, and 8chan, and so it's just that she's another messed up individual that I stay far away from. So it's just like, nope, no, not. I don't want nothing to do with you. People might give you a pass, but nope. I'm good. Damn, buddy. Damn, buddy. Yes, gross. But yeah, I feel bad because was it Stalin said he was gonna be back? Meow. But it's getting near to closing time of the stream. We're down to like the last 5 to 10 minutes or
Yeah.
so. Any like closing
Yeah.
anything?
I just want to say this, like, this is going back a little bit, but when we were talking about Zaptai, like, I have like this weird ambivalence towards him being back. Like, on one hand, I really enjoyed his content when he was like coming up, but then like at the same time, considering what he did, I don't think he should be allowed back into any community. And the fact that like in his video he doesn't even address himself being gone, and he barely addresses it in the description, is kind of like almost like he doesn't want to acknowledge what he did. And no, Zaptai, she was not worth getting arrested for. I just want to let him know that.
Yeah, no, that's nasty pedo shit, and for me with my server, Discord, and just like my circle, if I catch you doxer, pedo, oh no, you stay far away from me. I boot you out if you're involved in anything of mine. Just like, nope, get out, don't care. You're not welcome back here. So, I mean, I'm all for people changing.
Oh, yeah, in the barrel, if we find out there's a pedophile, then we just absolutely dunk on them. Like, just, I wasn't there for it, but apparently, like, some guy named Fowl was exposed, and they just, like, dunked on him in a call and then kicked him. It was great.
Yeah. Dr. Fowler, I heard a little bit about him, how he was sexting with a minor or whatnot. Very needy little foof.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. I don't want to say it because I'm not sure, and I don't want to put out any like incorrect information. But I think he was like doing it with somebody in the bear, but it was like one of 3 people, but I don't want to say who it is.
Yeah, I've heard some whispers about, just like I said, I don't know. People, I think, are just nuts, especially with the brony furry community, and then even with the IBS. I've heard some whispers about stuff going on with brony, like you had some controversy, and of course this got a pass and swept underneath the rug. Because FNGR talked about it. He got a hold of a recording of a well-known brony animator called Flufflepuff, which I thought was a chick at first, but I guess it's a dude.
Oh, I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah, where he dated a minor, and there's recordings of somebody having a conversation with Flufflepuff and his girlfriend. So he got a pass, and no one really talked about it. It got swept underneath the rug. I don't know how FNGR found out about it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's one of FNGR's videos. It's one of his how not to bronies. God, it was a few months back. I think Flufflepuff is in the title card.
Oh, Stalin's back.
Oh. Boop. Okay, hold on. Nope, Stalin is server muted still. There we go. Okay. You are live again.
So I'm back, gotta be more quiet. So I came back and I heard Black talking about a specific person in the barrel. I think I may know who you're talking about. What are you talking about?
like the whole thing with Fowl.
Oh
I
God.
think I know who it is, but I'm not sure. I didn't want to say anything in case I was wrong.
Who Fowl was interacting with?
Yeah.
Okay, Fowl was interacting with, well, as far as I know, Jazz and Mintheart.
Okay.
And
I knew
he
Mint was one of them.
He specifically sent Jazz a picture of his dick,
Yikes.
and he and him and Mint were like gonna go on a date or something. We have the logs. I can ask Sheldon for them, but either way, though, no. After that whole ordeal, we Jason Sheldon like screwed with him. Like we had no intention of really booting him from the server because we don't care. We're really just they were just trying to make fun of him. But of course he ran away. He ran away. He privated everything. He tried to delete everything, obviously. But yeah, that's really what happened. And then Anthony made a video on him because he was part of the secret rift. He's like, man, he was my friend. How could he do this? How could he do this, man? I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude, get a grip. This is the Brony community we're talking about here. But no, that's what happened. It was I didn't witness it. I was gone for like that weekend or something. I was playing in a 40k tournament. I came back. Oh look, there's another pedophile.
Do you mean
I'm not
just
joking.
like that thing from last night?
From last night? What do you mean?
Remember when that girl came in and she was talking to us about that YouTuber?
Oh my god, yeah, I had the same reaction. This girl came into the barrel talking about this like guy from this YouTuber from Guatemala, I think, who apparently had this
Oh,
server
yes,
that he deleted. That was
I saw Chris Stully.
yeah.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually know a little bit about that
Crystal, like,
situation.
she came in,
Go ahead. Not the pedo stuff,
yeah,
but
I know a bit about it now, but yeah, she was talking about how like apparently her server was it's basically the guy's server is basically an underground pedo ring. Like he deleted the server because people found out about like his interactions with people in there that were basically ranging from 9 to 16-year-old people.
ew.
9 to 16-year-old girls and also all sorts of other stuff. I don't again, it wouldn't surprise me. It just rolls my eyes, like Black said. Anytime somebody comes into the barrel and thinks that we're gonna do some sort of deep ops job against pedophiles, dude, we've dealt with so many of them. I just don't care anymore. There's just so many of them. They keep coming.
You doing?
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, he's also an art thief and tracer too. I've seen a lot of the videos, and people have gone through and he actually stole a character from somebody. He actually stolen a couple characters. He has a blue one and a pink one, but yeah, he'll take photos and he'll do what's called zombie art, where he'll take pieces, trace one thing from one photo, and then trace something else from a different photo and put in the same thing. So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of it. Like you could already see the warning signs when you go onto his channel and look at what you see. You see like and dislikes disabled. You
Oh,
go
that's
to
a
the
red
comments
flag.
and the comments are immediately like you can tell that the comments are very monitored. You can easily tell it's obviously a no-brainer. And then you see a suspicious amount of people that look really young, and there's that thing that come in there. But yeah, no, I've seen like the person came into the server last night and talked with us about it. Again, I could care less about it because there's so many fucking pedophiles. But I took a moment to look for myself. Like, yeah, I can see all these videos made exposing this guy. I could see what's going on. But yeah, there's more to Cristalli apparently. Like more than just the tracing, obviously.
Yeah, from what I remember, because I was kind of sticking my nose into it a little bit, is that he had the cops called on him. He actually, what's sad was he put out a tweet saying that he was moving to Canada, and somebody said that went and Googled image his photo, and it was a stock photo. They're like, you're stupid. He deleted it, of course, but it's just like, oh my gosh, you're dumb. So
yeah, dude thinks he's safe because he's Guatemalan. I'm like, bro, now people are gonna find you. This is the internet we're talking about here. There's gonna be that group of autists. They're gonna find everything about you. They're gonna get you.
There's no stronger force on this planet than weaponized autism.
Exactly. I mean, that's the way of the internet. But no, Cristalli's gonna get what's coming to him. I mean, he's already seeing the starting. This is just the beginning. And this has been happening for months. I guess I don't think people have gone beyond and contacted authorities about
No,
what
they
he's been
have.
doing,
Somebody
especially on his Discord
has.
server, which I heard was deleted.
Oh
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I'm not too in tune on the situation because again I've been rolling my eyes over pedophiles, but I mean if they've been called and they've been called, I think it should be pushed harder. I think it should be pushed harder.
Oh yeah. A lot of people have been combating him or whatnot, and if he's starting to hide likes and dislikes and monitor comments, it means that he's starting to crack because it wasn't like that it wasn't like that a few months back, at least from when I was
Oh yeah,
spoken in on the situation.
go to his recent video. Yeah, go to his most recent videos, and I mean the first thing that I saw is like, well, I don't know anything about this guy. Well, let's go check it out. Sees like and dislikes, disabled. I'm like, oh, well, that's a red flag. I go down to the comments. They're suspiciously, like, you can just easily tell these comments are very much monitored.
Yeah.
Concerning the situation at hand. Like, I see a couple of people been slipping through the cracks, obviously, because you can't get all of them, but you can try and get most of them. And then I go into, well, let's search up his name and let's see with the most recent results. And then I see all these videos exposing him as a tracer, and then a few of the videos covering the pedophile shit, I guess, with his Discord server. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about the situation. You could take the pedophile stuff with a grain of salt. As far as I know, that's just what I've been told. Of course, I'm not going to believe that 100%, but the tracing stuff, no, that's what he does. He traces.
Oh yeah,
Period.
and it's like horrific. And he was actually sponsored. I'm gonna wrap it up here because I got other people waiting on me. He was actually sponsored
Uh-huh.
and given a drawing tablet. I think it's called Huyan, Chinese based, and he was sent a free Huan tablet to review it. So he got sponsored by people who didn't know he traced. So it's like, oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, I think I heard he took someone's character and made NSFW out of it without their permission. I believe he did that as well. I'm not sure.
That blue character,
God.
that girl that he advertises with, he has two different styles. There's a goofy style which he stole from someone else, and then there's that more cutesy style. Yeah, no, there's not safe for work stuff of her and the pink one. Like I said, he's got a blue one and he's got a pink one. Both of them stolen. Oh yeah, he's one of those.
All right, so you said you're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, because I got people waiting on me wanting to game, so. But anyway, appreciate y'all coming out. Hopefully my co-host will be back. He was not here tonight, so like I said, Streamlabs are in the description if you want to send him some love, if you want to go tell him, hey, get better. His information's in the description below, so. But
There's
yeah.
always me.
Yeah, too.
There's always the barrel. There's always the barrel to come help you out.
But you guys have a good night, and I will see you later.
You have a good night.
And
Night.
stream.